You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I have got 5 sizzling hot predictions for the next week. I'm excited to bring these to you. Every single one of them is based in a confirmed spoiler, but this is where I think the storylines are going and where some of you have dropped comments where you think it's going, and I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I think they might be right. All right, let's dig in and talk about it. The very first one is I think Vivian Alamain is going to crash Victor Kiriakis' funeral. Confirmed Days of Our Lives spoilers this week say that Vivian Alamain is back to Days of Our Lives, and it'll be Louise Sorel in the role. Given the timing, I'm pretty certain she's there to say goodbye to Victor Kiriakis with everyone else in Salem. But last we saw, Vivian was locked away in Statesville, I believe, because that's where she called her son EJ DiMera from a while back. So it'd be hard to imagine her getting compassionate release to come to a funeral of someone who is not her husband or an immediate family member. But given that they hand out pardons like playing cards in the great state of Illinois, maybe Vivian is truly released and a free woman. As scary as that might be for a few people. Either way, I doubt she is an invited guest to Victor's funeral. She is, after all, hated by a lot of people in Salem. But given that Vivian arrives the day after his funeral kicks off, when it's in full swing, she comes on September 8th. Is it the 8th? Yeah, the 8th. Okay. That's when she comes. So I think she is crashing into the funeral and is going to make a big scene, drawing gasps and glares from everyone else in attendance. Before we dig into our second prediction, if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our Days of Our Lives updates. All right, our second prediction it's going to sound awful, but it is absolutely based in confirmed spoilers, and it's that Shawn Brady contemplates suicide. There are official spoilers saying that Shawn Brady's drinking is just out of control next week. Family addiction issues seem to have grabbed hold of him. He's sinking deeper into a spiral. He can't control his alcohol consumption. And next week, spoilers say that he keeps on drinking, refuses to go to an AA meeting with Brady, and he quits his therapy with Marlena. Then by Tuesday, official spoilers say Shawn Brady is at rock bottom. But what does rock bottom mean? Sadly, Shawn is consumed with guilt, and he's now blaming himself for both Victor's death and Bo Brady's death. He thinks because he shot his dad and put him in a coma, that's why Victor was on the plane. It was in the crash. Of course, we now know that Victor was actually coming from a different destination. So there's still some kind of secret surrounding his death yet to be revealed. But that doesn't help Shawn right now. At his lowest point and blaming himself for family tragedies, it looks like Shawn considers taking his own life. We will see that later next week, but let's hope it doesn't happen. All right, our third prediction, Xander is there for the birth of his child. So we have a couple of official spoilers related to Xander and Sarah next week that I'm excited to see. First is that I'm not excited to see her collapse on Monday. I'm excited by the tone of the spoilers overall. Just wanted to say that. She does collapse on Monday, and she needs to go over to the hospital, and Xander is on hand, so he's the one who takes her there. That is the perfect time for her to tell him that he is the biological father of her child and that she lied about Rex Brady. But I do not think Sarah is going to come clean, not just yet. And part of that's probably because Xander is engaged to another woman right now, but then everything changes soon. So we have a casting leak that Nadia Borland is leaving Days of Our Lives. And if it's true, and I think it is, that means Chloe Lane is out soon. I predict that she will leave town with Philip Kiriakis based on when I've been told her exit date is and the number of episodes that Jean-Paul Lavoisier filmed in the role. Then on Friday, September 8th, Days of Our Lives confirmed spoilers say that Sarah Horton is in labor. Other spoilers for the day or two before that say that she is really struggling with feelings for Xander that she keeps hidden. So what I'm hoping to see is that she relents at the last moment and Xander is there to see their child born no matter what happens between them later. I just want him to get to see that child come into the world. All right. Our fourth prediction is that Ava Vitali may beg EJ DiMera to kill her. And, that's his plan anyway, so we'll see. Next week's spoilers say EJ DiMera decides Ava Vitali needs to die for killing his sweet mother, Susan Banks. So Nicole Walker tried to talk him out of any revenge plans and reminded him they should be focusing on their baby, their wedding. I think weren't they going to go to Vegas or something? At any rate, and Tripp Johnson just reminded EJ that his mother, Ava, has serious mental issues. But it was something else that Tripp said that provoked EJ, in my opinion. And that is Tripp is hoping to see his mother back to sanity and released soon. Well, EJ does not want Ava walking around breathing air and having a life when his dear mother is pushing up daisies, as far as he knows. So EJ leaps into action, and official spoilers say he tries to kill Ava. The main problem is she's in Bayview right now, and it's unclear to me how EJ could get to her, but maybe if he came to visit somebody else. I don't know. He's got power and influence, and that could help make it happen. I also wonder if he might pay someone else to attack her or whether he'd do it himself. If he does it himself, honestly, I could totally see Ava so guilt-ridden and in misery over being haunted by Susan Banks that she begs EJ to kill her and free her from this torment. And maybe seeing her so agonized and clearly in the ravages of mental illness, maybe EJ would back down. Maybe not. We'll see how it goes. All right, our fifth and final prediction is that Susan Banks is not really dead. Susan's on my head, on my mind, in my head this week because of the stuff going on with Ava, and I love seeing Stacy Haiduk in that Susan Banks get up. And think back to late 2022 on Days of Our Lives. Recall the fiery crash that supposedly took the life of Susan Banks. It also injured Ava Vitali, and EJ DiMera was driving, I think, right behind them and was devastated when he saw the car crashing, went down like off a side of a cliff or something. It looked fatal. And then, if I recall, there was flames, an explosion maybe, and the assumption since then has been that Susan is dead and gone, but I don't think it's going to go that way for several reasons. I'm going to dig into those in 1 second, but hey, if you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe. If you enjoyed this day's predictions edition, please click a like and definitely leave your comments on where you think these storylines are going and where you'd like to see them go. So the reason that I think Susan Banks is alive is first, people rarely die permanently in Salem. Second, there's no real plot purpose served by killing Susan other than making EJ murderous right now. Third is that they never found her body. If you don't find somebody's body in Salem, they're not dead. And sometimes you can find the body stabbed, hung, set on fire, limbs cut off, and they're still not dead. It's like a town full of Rasputins. So the bottom line is there is no reason to think that Susan Banks is dead. And in fact, that dream that EJ just had about Susan could be a sign. Maybe she's reaching out to him psychically. Susan has the gift of sight, but maybe her body was flung from the car by the explosion. Maybe she was crawling out and it kind of blew her out of the way. She wandered off. She got amnesia, doesn't know who she is, but her subconscious remembers Elvis Jr. and she's communicating with him. That would be a typical Susan Banks comeback plot. Let me know what you guys think. Come back soon for more on Days of Our Lives. Thank you for listening. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.